Hello friends, welcome to Shiksharthi. In this video, we'll be solving questions of exercise 5.2 on arithmetic progression. So let's start. So now talking about question number 1. So it says, fill in the blanks in the following table given that the first term is this, the common difference is this, and the nth term of the AP is to be found out, or the nth term of the AP is given. So for this, what we are going to do is we will just draw a table here. So this is question number 1 is what we are solving, and then they have given you various parts in the question. So we will see which values are given and then we will solve all the parts. Now, how many parts does the question have? It has 5 parts. So we will just see the first question first, which says these values are given to you as 7, 3, 8, and you have to find out the nth term. So now we know that if you have already seen my videos, you know that the nth term, either I represent it like Tn, here they have represented it as an, and we know that this is nothing but a plus n minus 1 into d. So we just need to substitute these values here. For example, now once we know this, because we are supposed to use it in other questions as well, so what we are going to do here is I'm just extending this and we'll solve the questions here in these rows and we'll just put the values here. So now solving for an here, an will be nothing but 7 plus n minus 1, which is 8 minus 1, into d, which is 3. So can I say this is nothing but 7 plus 7 into 3, which is just like saying 28. So let's fill it up here, and I'm filling it up with a bigger sized number so that you're able to understand that these are the 3 values which were given to you and this is the value which you were supposed to find out. And I'll use a tick mark also. So tick mark I'm using for those which are to be filled up. So those values which are supposed to be filled up in the table. Okay. Here in the next one it is minus 18, 10 and 0. So just using the same matrix here, so I'll say 0 is equal to minus 18 plus n minus 1. So I'm directly using n minus 1 now here. So 10 minus 1 will be 9 into d, which is not known to me. So what are we saying? Therefore 9d is equal to 18 and the value of d comes out to be 2 finally. Okay, so it is just like saying the 10th, there are 10 terms here and the last term here is 0 and the first. So if you wish, you can count out all these values on your finger ends. For example, without writing this also we could have counted. How? Now the common difference was, now the moment you have the common difference with you, maybe you can just find it out here. Else what you could have done here was, you could have said that minus 18 is equal to 10 minus 1, which is, 10 minus 1, which is 9, and minus 18 is equated to minus 9, which is just like saying, so minus 18 is equated to a minus 9, which is just like saying 1 is equal to 2. Okay, let's see the next one. Have I taken down the values correctly? Minus 3, 18 and minus 5. Okay, so here you do not have the first term, you have the last term as minus 5. You do not have the first term. Okay, 18 minus 1 is 17 and 17 into minus 3. Okay, so now can I say that a is equal to minus 5 and this goes on the other hand side, which is just like saying a 51. So a becomes equal to a 46. Okay, next question. So minus 18.9, 2.5, minus 18.9, 2.5, and thereafter they have given you 3.6 as the last term. So you need to get the value of n. Okay, so I mean if you wish you can do it orally also, but then let's solve it the way in which we are solving it. So an, which is the last term, is 3.6. The first term is given to you as minus 18.9. n minus 1 is not given to you, and d is given to you as 2.5. Okay, so now can I say that n minus 1 is equal to, now when this goes on the other hand side, this becomes 22.5 divided by 2.5, which is just like saying a 9. So n minus 1 is a 9. In that case, n becomes equal to a 10. Solved. Question number 5. So 3.50 and 105. Okay, 3.5, 0 and 105. Okay, so you have to find out the nth term, the last term here. So which is just like saying 3.5 plus n minus 1, which is 104, into d, which is 0. So now without solving this question, since you have already seen, you've gone through my videos, the earlier videos on arithmetic series and progressions, so you could have said that this is a series which is independent of the number of terms, because the common difference here is a 0. So in any case, any term in that series will be equal to the first term only. Hope you understood this. So let's move on to question number 2. So talking about question number 2, it says choose the correct choice in the following and justify. So what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to find out so there are two parts here now. The first part says find out the 30th term of the AP, which starts from 10, 7, 4, and then you have to find out which choice is the correct choice. Now from here, the very first thing that you need to understand here is this is an AP which has the first term as positive, but the second term is smaller than the first term, which means if the first term is positive and the second term is lesser than the first term, in that case the common difference has to be negative. So there will be a point in time wherein a particular term becomes 0 or negative. Now since they are talking about the 30th term, the answer cannot be the positive ones. The answer has to be one between the negative ones only. This is the initial round of screening that you need to do with objective questions. Had it been a subjective question, the reasoning still remains the same, but in that case you are supposed to solve it. Here you have to mark the correct answer, howsoever you solve. Okay. Now the second part here is, can I find out the nth term here? So we know the formula that an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Now the first term here is 10. We do not know the number of terms, and the common difference here is how much? So if I say how do we find out the common difference? The common difference here would be the second term minus the first term, which comes out to be a minus 3. So using this here, I'll say this into minus 3. So what will I get? I'll get 10 plus minus 3 into minus 1 is 3, minus 3n. So this comes out to be a 13 minus 3n. You get the nth term. Now you need to find out the 30th term. So you'll say a30. You'll just substitute the value of n as 30 here. So which is just like saying so what is the correct answer here? C. Similarly, you'll do the next part here. The next part says this is again an AP, now wherein the first term is using almost the same logic that we had used in the first question. The first term of this arithmetic series is negative, right? But the second term also is negative, but the second term is greater than the first term. So the first pre-thought that should come to your mind is that here d should be positive. Now when d is positive here, you cannot have a negative answer in the 11th term. So the answer has to be one between these two option choices only. So let's see. So in that case, now we have to find out the 11th term. So we know that an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. So 11th term here will be what? A plus 11 minus 1, which is 10. 10d. Do I have the first term? Yes. Do I have the common difference? No, I can find it out. So common difference is nothing but the second term minus the first term, which is in this case is minus half, and then minus of minus 3, which comes out to be 2.5, which can be written as 5/2. So now can I say this is nothing but So how much is this? This is just like saying minus 3. I'm sorry, this is plus. So minus 3 plus how much? 25, which is a 22. So the answer choice is choice B, which is 22. Let's move on to question number 3. So talking about question number 3, it says in the following arithmetic progressions, find the missing terms in the boxes. Okay. So now if you have gone through my videos on basics and the concepts, which I'm talking about the theoretical videos, you would have come across that here we know that this is the first arithmetic mean. So we can use the concept of arithmetic mean here. So which is just like saying I add the immediate terms and divide them by 2. So you just add 2 and 26 and you divide it by 2, which is 14 divided by, 28 divided by 2, which is 14. So you can just do this directly. And what are you using? You are using nothing but, so let's say this is nothing but this plus this divided by 2. Similarly, what you can do here is, now I know that using the same concept, 13 plus 3 is how much? 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now this box plus this box divided by 2 should give me 13, which is just like saying, now either I do it like that or I will find out the common difference. So if I see it from this side, 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, 13 plus 5 is 18. Right? Now let us see. So these were relatively easier as compared to the ones that we are going to do now. Okay. So now in all these we'll be just using this formula, which is an minus a, which is the first term, is equal to n minus 1 into d. You know this formula. The only thing I have done here is, rather than writing plus a on this side, I have brought a on this side. What is the objective? You will realize it in few minutes. So 9.5 minus 5 is what you would save. 9.5 minus 5 is how much? 4.5. Now 4.5 divided by n minus 1. What is the value of n here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So n minus 1 becomes 3. So what is the value of d here? 1.5. So just keep on adding 1.5. So if I keep on adding 1.5 here, this becomes 6.5, which is just like saying 6.5. Next 6.5 plus 1.5 makes it 8, 8 and this. Using the same logic here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 terms. And this minus this gives you 10. So 10 now divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the value of n, right? So how much is n minus 1? 5. So what is the value of d that you get from here? 2. Minus 4 plus 2, minus 2. Minus 2 plus 2 is 0. 0 plus 2, 2. 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 2, 6. Now using the same logic here, which is just like saying, so if you recollect, we had discussed a formula which says any term of an arithmetic series minus any other term is just like saying k minus r into d. So let us say this is the second term, right? And this is what? This is, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what are we saying? We are saying the sixth term minus the second term should be equal to 6 minus 2 into the common difference of the series. So the sixth term is minus 22 minus 38 gives me how much? Minus 60. So minus 60 divided by 4 gives me the value of d as minus 15. So there are two ways now. So if I start from here, the common difference would be minus 15. If I start from the other side, the common difference would be plus 15. Whichever way you want to do it. So if I add 15 to this, I get how much? Minus 7. I add 15 to this, I get plus 8. Add 15 to this, I get 23. Add 15 to this, you get a 38. Add another 15 to this, you get a 53. So a very interesting question which makes you practice the basics along with few other concepts so that you can take your learning to the next level. Now talking about question number 4. Now question number 4 basically talks about that this is an arithmetic progression or an arithmetic series in which 78 appears as which term? So in that case you will say an is equal to 3 plus n minus 1. Do you know the number of terms here? No. Do you know the common difference? Yes. So can you write this as, this is nothing but 5n minus 2. So now let's say this is the nth term here. So you will say 78 is equal to 5n minus 2. Therefore you will say 5n is equal to 80. And then you get the value of n as 16. So which term is 78 of this arithmetic series? The term is the 16th term. Okay, question number 5. So question number 5 talks about, or it asks, find the number of terms in each of the following APs. And the first AP that they have given to you is 7, 13, 19, and then thereafter they have given you the last term. The last term here is 205. Have you done this kind of a question earlier? You have already done it here, except for the fact that here you had known the number of terms and here you have to find out the number of terms. So we know that an minus a1 upon n minus 1 is equal to d, using the same formula as we have been using. And why are we writing it as d? I mean, do we need to find out the value of d? No. Or I can write it as, this is an minus a1 upon d is equal to n minus 1, and whatever value or whichever value we get from here, we just add 1 to it. So how much is 205 minus 7 is just like saying 198. What is the common difference here? The common difference here is 13 minus 7 or 19 minus 3, which is how much? 6. So this comes out to be a 33, but this is not the value of n, this is the value of n minus 1. Therefore the value of n comes out to be 34. So how many terms exist in this series? 34 terms. Let's talk about the second part here. Now the second part says that the first term here is 18, the second term here is 15 and a half, the third term here is 13, and so on. The last term that they have given to you in this series is minus 47, and they are interested in knowing what? They are interested in knowing the number of terms here. You can use the same formula as we had used in the earlier question, which so an minus a1, this is nothing but minus 47 minus 18 is minus 65. And what is the common difference? The common difference here is negative, because every subsequent term decreases the value of the term. Okay, so how much is it? So from an 18, or from an 18, if I just subtract a 2.5, will I get this? From a 15.5, if I subtract a 2.5, will I get this? Yes. So which is just like saying this is minus 5 by 2. So when you do this, you say that this is nothing but equal to a 26. Now 26 is the value of n minus 1. Therefore the value of n is 27. So from here you are able to get the value of n as 27. So how many terms does this arithmetic series have? It has 27 terms. Right? Okay.